I have another example. The word alphabet comes from the first two letters of the Greek alphabet, alpha and beta. So I typed in, where does the word alphabet come from that we use now? Well, they say it comes from the Phoenicians and stuff like that, but also they say that it comes from the alphabet, comes from Phoenician, comes. That's what they say. Eventually. Wait, let me see here. Are the alphabets for the look? It's by definition. This is personal people. The first sign of alphabet found in Byblos. Byblos is the land of the Gibeonites. Gibel. It's mentioned in the book of Psalms 83. That's because Byblos is actually Gabal, and the Gabalites is actually the Hamites. Right. They're actually Canaanites. But let me see something here. Here, Latin. Here, the history of alphabet. It says here, themselves derived from the what's derived? What? Derived. Okay. And so let me see something here. And the Semitic language became the ancestor of multiple writing systems across Middle East, Europe, and Northern Africa and South Asia, mainly through the Canaanites and closely related Paleo-Hebrew alphabet. And the closely related, and later Aram, derived from the Phoenician alphabet and all that there. So, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. That's why until this day, they reference the Canaanites, but they call them Phoenicians. These Edomites, they glorify them. You know, because they want to, they also do it for a sneaky reason, which is to deceive us into thinking that we're Canaanites. But a lot of our people don't cling to Canaan. They cling more to Mizraim because they think that they're the ancient Egyptians. You know, because the Egyptians are the Mizraim people. So, where does the language basically, according to their Greeks, it's the same thing. Alpha and beta. So, what is this? This is Ahba. So, the word, the alphabet, the word alphabet is actually Ahba, is actually father. Alphabet is father. That's what you say when you say the word alphabet. It's Ahba, father. And you can catch that in the scriptures, so I'm going to leave it with this one. Now, this is the book of Sirach 17, verse 1. Yahweh created man of the earth, and turned him again into it. He gave them few days and a short time, and power also over the things therein. He endued them with strength by themselves, because we are self-sufficient, and made them according to his image, because we know right from wrong. Well, we will 100% if you eventually in the future. And basically we need to follow after Yahweh Bashem Yahashai, his ways. His image is talking about the mannerisms, because now we know good and evil. That's why you're convicted when you do something evil. That's why people sneak around to do bad stuff. Verse 4, and put the fear of man upon all flesh. Back in the days, all animals used to fear us, but not anymore. A lot of them still do fear you. They're really afraid of you. And gave him dominion over beasts and fowls. They received the use of the 5 operations of the Lord, and in the 6th he imparted them understanding, and in the 7th speech, an interpretator of the cogitations thereof. So what is the cogitations? The action of thinking deeply about something. So you are now able to speak your thoughts. So let me read it again. And in the 7th speech. And what is that speech? An interpreter of the mind thereof. So basically you are able to speak your mind, right? And what is speaking actually? It's wind. That's the, of course, breath is the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, yes. But there's a other breath that I'm talking about also, which is basically wind. Because every time you open your mouth, it's actually you're pushing wind forward through your stomach. You're pushing wind forward, and then your tongue is able to move around, and therefore you get these words. Do you understand the words coming out of my mouth? that came in my head because it's funny, right? So you are able to talk. So the whole reason and fact that you are able to talk, that's the Lord itself. So what are you using? Alphabet. It doesn't matter if you use the Roman Latin. It doesn't matter if you use Chinese, Japanese. It's Father. The existence of talking is Father. Ahba. Alphabet. Alpha and Bet is actually A and Ba, the two first letters of the Hebrew language, the so-called Hebrew language, the so-called Canaanite language. But it's not the Canaanite language. The Moabites used it too, so it's not just theirs. But still, I do respect it. So I know 7 nations greater or mightier than us. So I'm not going to fight against it or something like that. I'm not going against it or whatever. It does say in the book of Zephaniah that we shall speak the language of Canaan. But the Lord said in the book of Zephaniah chapter 3 verse 9, he said that the Lord will give us a pure language in that time. So we're going to speak it fluently at that time, a pure language. Now, whether it be the language of Aram, which the elder apostle Aramlab said that is a higher form that Yahweh Shai spoke, and also he could speak that too, because we could speak it too. And also the learned elders, they could speak it also, so I don't know if it's that one or if it's actually just the language that we're gonna get, that we spoke, the language that we spoke in the land of Canaan, right? But we're gonna figure it out. 1 Corinthians chapter 13 verse 9, we're gonna figure that out. So it's not really a big deal, but just know that we have 2 languages. We had the one of Aram, which is what Laban the Syrian spoke. Rachel spoke it when she named her son Benjamin. And then you have the other one, which is what Jacob spoke. Jacob spoke Galilee, and Laban spoke Jagar something. Jagar had 2 tusks or whatever. Laban called it. Jagar Sahadutha, and Jacob called it Galid. So he clearly had a different language, right? So we spoke that one, and he spoke the other one, which is the one that Abraham had, because he stayed in that region. If you are in one region, do you think that after decades or something, like not even decades, listen, if you have a child, and your child is born in a land where you are not from, do you think that your child is going to speak your language? When your child is going to mingle with the people around him, he's going to speak their language. He's not going to speak your language, but you are going to teach him the language. So now he's dual language. He knows your language, and he knows the language that he is in right now. So that is what we had, right? We was in the midst of the Canaanites. That's why Abraham said, don't let him mingle here with the women of Canaan. I don't want to. Go to my family. Same thing with Rebecca and Rachel. No, sorry. Isaac and Rebecca. Isaac and Rebecca told their son Jacob, don't go here. I don't want you to marry them. Go to my family. Go get a child of Abraham, his brother, his descendants, and then make children and keep it pure. Don't mingle with them. But we didn't. So eventually we didn't. But that's a whole nother story. Okay, so now going back to over here. Sirach 17 and 6. Counsel and a tongue and eyes, ears, and a heart, which is a mind. Gave he them to understand, because you don't think with your muscle pumping blood in your chest, all above your chest on the left side. Anyway, kind of in the middle. You don't think with that. That's a muscle that pumps blood. Withal he filled them with the knowledge of understanding, and showed them good and evil. That's the image of the Lord. We was made in his image. Because it's not talking about women are made in the image of the Lord. You're lying to yourself if you say that, because it says here, So that's not what it wow. That's not what it's talking about when it says in the book of Genesis, we made man in their image. Because it's talking about, let me see, where is it again? Here, 1 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 7. For a man indeed ought to not cover his head. Why? For as much as he is the image and glory of the Lord, but the woman is the glory of the man. You're not the image of the Lord. The man is the image of the Lord, because the image, what does that represent? When you see a statue, what does that represent? It brings something to mind. It reminds you of something. So it goes then therefore in thoughts. So the image, like the image of the beast, it's not talking about the picture of Caesar Borgia. The image of the beast is talking about his society, his philosophies, his ways, his doctrine, their mannerisms and stuff like that. That is the image of the Lord that the Jacob descendant is supposed to have, because he was made in that form. That's why he's greater than all. So, image, it says here, an image, figure, likeness, an image of the things, heavenly things, used of the moral likeness of renewed men unto Yahweh. What is moral? Concerned with the principles of right, or that's the image, because it shows you right here, Genesis 1 and no, it's actually, is it 1 or 2? Yeah, 26. And the power said, let us make man in our image and after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So the powers created man in his own, actually I should say, his own image. The image, in the image of the power created he them, actually. Male and female created he them. You see, it's not him only, it's them. But anyway, so going on, let me see what right here. Where does it say it right? Sorry. I was looking for a right, Genesis chapter 3 verse 22. And Yahweh the power said, behold, the man is become as one of us, to know good and evil. And now lest he put forth his hand and take also of the tree of life and eat and live forever. Basically, this is the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding that we're going to get in the near future when Yahweh Bashem Yahshai is going to make us immortal. So that knowledge is being passed on. It was cut off, but now it's being passed on back again unto the elder apostles at Great Millstone, to the power of Yahweh Bashem Yahshai, and then from there further on it spread onto the world, and the elect only is going to grasp at it first, and then come the 2/3 after the destruction. You know, the 1/3 and the elect is going to get it now, and then the 2/3 is going to get it after death. You know, so so that's that part. But wait, right, so yeah, I have to do some, so yeah, so basically that is that. Which this video went on a whole other a whole other route, which is good, Lord willing, of course. But yeah, it started out to show you that the name is not Yahushua, and also Yahweh or something like that. Yeah, here Yahuwah, no, it's Yahweh by Yahweh Shai, and this is then therefore Yahweh Shai, which is Joshua, and this is therefore then this one is just false. You know, it's supposed to be Yahweh, but yeah, and this is supposed to be Yashar Allah, right? You know, for the people that want to, want the correct name and stuff like that, so they can pray in correctness, the video is for you. But the rest, so I don't know. So with that, I'm gonna say Shalom.